Hello and welcome to Brave Souls Rewind, Ichigo Week, where I'll be taking an older Ichigo each day of the week, Monday through Saturday, and figuring out whether or not it's still viable, and finally do a top 10 Ichigo video on his actual birthday, Sunday, July 15th. Starting off the week is an Ichigo that most of you may not have, seeing as he's a very old character, and not one that you can get by regular means. Still, even though he's old, it doesn't mean he's unusable, does it? Now normally I like to raise their stats 100%, whether it's attack or SP, and I usually give them one boosted link, but I did make an exception for this character for all three builds, because his stats are very bad, so I knew if he was going to be usable, he was going to have the best thing possible, or at least the best thing I could give him. Now as always, I started with the normal attack damage build, and I'm not gonna lie, I actually liked this build. His attacks were quick and his reach was great, and it makes sense as he has a plus 30 adrenaline and a plus 30 long reach. Unfortunately though, while I did like it, it's not exactly usable. The damage wasn't there, even though I did manage to take care of some enemies. Now to be fair, this build would probably be better if I had a golden chappy and a golden pupples, but it shouldn't have to be a requirement for this build to be viable. So unfortunately, I'm gonna have to say no. Now next I tried the strong attack damage build, and as you can see I boosted out his links. Unfortunately it was not enough. This build sucked. I think there was a few times that the strong attacks were able to knock out enemies in one hit, but every other time it took several hits. Not to mention their range was awful, and when you don't have your strong attacks, your normal attacks just really suffer, even with that plus 30 bruiser. Honestly, I don't even think that putting this character with 3 golden Yukis, even though it's impossible, would even help. The range is just not there, and this is not a viable build. Now finally I tried the strong attack recharge build, and I will say it was a bit more tolerable than the last build, if only because your strong attacks came back faster. But even then it still very much sucked because it took multiple strong attacks to take care of one enemy, even the weak ones. The range is still awful and your normal attacks still suck with this build. So I know the explanation for this build was a bit short, but it's not viable, and it's plain and simple to see. In the end, the only one that was even remotely usable was the normal attack damage build, and that's only if your attack is super high. Still, it is a fun character to kinda test out, maybe in a 4-star raid, because the normal attack build is actually fun, just not exactly usable in anything harder than a 4-star raid. Thank you guys so much for watching. Like I said, there will be a new rewind every day of this week, and a top 10 Ichigo video at the end of the week. So subscribe if you want to see that. Oh, also, I just hit 15k, so thank you guys for that. It's been really fun, and here's to another 15.